Hi, I'm Tris Thorp. I just want to thank you so much for trusting me with your healing journey. I know how difficult it can be to carry around the pain of your past. I've been there, and to be quite honest, I carried quite a load myself for the first half of my life, if not longer. Whether you chose this book because you're tired of carrying around pain from the past, frustrated that you continue to attract the same negative person over and over again, despite the fact that you just want to be in a loving, nurturing, and trusting relationship, or maybe you're feeling beaten down by the people around you, and there's a sense of hopelessness about your future. Could be that you just know deep within that something needs to change. And that's why I'm here to tell you this book was written for you. As a little girl, my parents gave me away multiple times. And I can remember, just like it was yesterday, trying so hard to make sense of all the confusion and the sadness and the loneliness I was experiencing. I couldn't understand why I wasn't with my parents. What had I done wrong? Why didn't they want me? During those times, my boundaries were also violated, and things happened to me that little girls shouldn't even know about, let alone personally experience. Things that no one should ever experience, regardless of age or gender. But let's just say that things happened to me that no one should ever have to go through. And what happened after that was I began to develop a lot of beliefs about myself, about the world that I lived in, and about the people around me. I began to have thoughts like, no one wants me. I'm always going to be alone. And everyone will always leave me. Those experiences and that pain began to define the person that I would become. You see, I built strong, thick walls all the way around me to ensure that everyone else stayed out there so that I could protect myself, keep myself tucked away and safe so that no one could ever leave me again. No one could ever hurt me. No one could ever violate my boundaries ever again. I developed beliefs as a young child that I wasn't good enough, that I was unlovable, that no one would ever want me. I would always be alone. As I became a young adult and began to enter into relationships, I found that I was running all kinds of self-sabotaging behaviors. I would leave people before they could leave me. Friendships, romantic partnerships, jobs, even my own family members. That was my way of keeping myself safe. I also had a lot of negative self-talk. All of those limiting beliefs that I had ruminating in my mind were like on repeat. And all I could hear all day, every day was, "You're always going to be alone, Tris. Get used to it. No one's ever going to want you. You don't deserve love. You don't deserve to be in a happy, healthy relationship. You don't deserve success. That's for everyone else, but not you." It was my operating system for the first half of my life. I didn't know any better. It was my basic survival mechanism that I had installed as a little girl and had carried with me throughout my lifetime. I had a lot of self-loathing, couldn't stand myself, in fact, wanted my life to end and was too afraid to do it myself. In fact, I can remember 2 specific occasions where I put myself in very dangerous situations, hoping that someone else or the universe would do to me what I didn't have the nerve to do myself. I wanted to check out. I wanted to leave this world because I didn't believe that I existed here. I didn't believe that I had value. I didn't believe that I had any worth. I didn't believe that I belonged in this foreign place where I was unable to connect with anyone. I felt so alone and so isolated. And then I began my own healing journey. Many of the exercises, the tools, the techniques that I used over the last 10 years to heal my own heart are the same exercises and tools and techniques that I'm sharing with you in this book. As I became an educator and a public speaker and an author, I began to travel around the world, teaching and speaking, and I began to notice that people in my audiences, as well as my one-on-one private coaching clients, as they would share their own stories and experiences, I began to hear the same common thread over and over and over again. I began to realize that, oh my God, with these people, their past is what has defined who they have become, who they believe that they are in this lifetime, what they believe that they're capable of or not capable of, deserving of or undeserving of. And I began to realize their pain is my pain, and my pain is their pain. It's not about what's happening right now in the world so much as everything that's happened, that's begun to culminate into this very moment that has defined who we all truly believe that we are. All of our limitations, all of our fears, all of our struggles, all of our pain that we've carried with us through this lifetime. That's why I wrote Healing Your Heart. So many of my students and people from the audience have shared over the last 6 or 7 or 8 years, Tris, when are you going to tell your story? When are you going to share these teachings? When are you going to write your book? And I just kept thinking, I don't deserve to share this. I'm not good enough to write a book. Who am I to go out into the world and share these teachings with other people? I still had quite a bit of healing to do myself. So here I am several years later, and now I've written this book. I've written this book for you. I wrote it for me, and I wrote it for every other person out there in this world who is struggling with pain from the past, unable to find a way out, and feels like there's no hope for their future. I was very fortunate to come into contact with the resources and the people to put me on my path to healing. It's because of this healing work that I've done that I've been able to transform the way that I feel about myself, transform the way that I see the world and the way that I interact with other people. The love, the peace, and the happiness that I've called in, that I've cultivated, that I've been able to manifest in my life at this stage is directly proportionate to the amount of work that I've had to do to get myself here. And I have to say that the tools that I share in Healing Your Heart will work if you have the willingness and the intention to go the distance. You have to be ready, willing, and able to look at your feelings and to face your past with love, with honesty, and with compassion for yourself and others, so that you can let go of that which no longer serves you and rewrite your story in a way that makes you the hero instead of the victim. My greatest hope and prayer for you is that you use this book. Don't just read through it. Use the chapters in this book, the tools, the techniques, and the exercises to heal your past, to help you transform yourself from the inside out and create a very compelling future for yourself the way that I have. You can experience that feeling of being totally free. There's a Sanskrit word called moksha, means emotional liberation, being free from the past so that you can become an empowered, happy, loving, excited, and totally joyful human being through healing your heart. So thank you for coming on this journey. I look forward to walking alongside you on the path. And in the meantime, enjoy the book.